Hello and welcome back to my channel. Megan here with the second half of my birthday present for my mom. If you watched last week, which I know some people took a break with, Christmas in July, but um, this is the other part of my mom's birthday present to me. I'm very fortunate and very privileged that my mom participates in my hobby, not actively herself, but like encourages and supports me and buys me things. She buys me the things that I won't buy myself, and this is one of those. Um, this has been on my wish list for a while, but I never thought it would actually be something I own. To the point that I have other American Girl sets that have like the revamps of some of these items. So now I'm gonna have like Pleasant Company set and like Mattel set. And I have the Mattel things like off in the corner over there, so I'll bring them as I talk about them. Okay, so it's not a complete set. It is missing two pieces. One, it's no big deal, and the other is a little sad, but it's gonna be okay. It really is okay. This is more than I thought I ever would own. Um, So let's start with the obvious piece that, if you know the set, the obvious piece that I'm missing. Well, the corn is there. I didn't know if you could see that, but the corn is there. Okay. So if you know the set, the piece that I'm missing, there's a black jar. It's like a water jar. So, if you're cooking, you would want to have a jar of water. So if you needed to splash water into something, this is the ring that holds that jar. So I have the ring, which this is like actual straw material. That's amazing. But I don't have the jar that sits in this ring. So that's the one piece I'm a little sad about, but it's okay. But that's what this ring here is for. I'm sure I have other jars that are like painted and decorated that I can substitute in. If I see it one day, I might go for it, but it's perfectly okay that I don't have it. The one that is truly okay that I don't have is a stick. So there technically is a stick that goes with this set that these things hang off of, like the food hangs off of. I live in the woods. I can find a stick. Okay, so I have some squash here. Really detailed plastic. It's actually held up really good condition. It's not sticky at all, and a thread that goes through it so that it could hang up to dry. Really nice. This is garlic. My family debated for a while what this was, but this apparently is garlic. Of course, with selective breeding and cross pollination, what I really mean is cross pollination in biology. This has probably changed, what we think of with garlic has changed over time. It's like a papery material. So that's kind of cool. And it is braided too. I think that's awesome. That is how, if you grow garlic, that's how you hang it to dry, which I think is really accurate, and I love that. Okay. Okay, there's a dipper here. This technically also goes with the jar. You can, dip it in the pot, or you could pour water out and then use it, but this is a dipper. It's a plastic, but it's a really nice textured plastic. Really kind of cool. Okay. I am doing this in an order for a reason. Next we have the pot. This is a very heavy copper pot, made in Taiwan. Needs a polishing, but I think it just gives it character. Josefina has used this. Her family has used this, and it has signs of that. And this is a trivet. This is a heavy metal trivet. I actually joked, I'm like, you could really hurt somebody with that. So if you do ever buy this, be careful. This is heavy. This is made in Korea for Pleasant Company. But it's metal, and then oops, you can hear that, pot sits on top, which is awesome. So you could put fire underneath this, or it can use it as a trivet, which is what it was called in the product description. Okay, so what do we have left here? So the items I have left are the ones that I have American Girl, aka Mattel, equivalents. So the first one is the basket. So this is Um, so the pieces I'm going to show you from the Mattel are from her Adobe set. So I did buy her Adobe oven um, in a re-release with Mattel, and so some of these items from it. So the original basket here was made in China for Pleasant Company. This doesn't have a sticker, but I'm sure it was also China. You can see how it was really similar in style for the revamp, which I think is really kind of cool. The revamp one is um, a little bigger, but it also has bigger straw material. And this is a early Mattel because it still actually is made of straw. But this one also has a handle, and it's a thick, kind of stiff twine. I know the camera's being kind of weird with focus. It's kind of a stiff twine. It doesn't stand up on its own, but you could carry it with. So that's kind of nice. That's kind of cool. I'll do the corn. So the corn here is, these are plastic, but then this is like actual straw material. Like it feels like corn husk. It feels like dried corn husk, like actual dried corn husk that they glued to plastic is what that feels like, which is kind of crazy if you think about it. And it is a little broken, so I'm going to have to be careful there. But again, can hang on the stick. And then this is the revamp version. So notice you can see kind of the similarities. So same colors, same idea, but in this case, the revamp, it's all plastic. So there's no like corn husk. It looks like corn husk. It's a really good detailing, but it is all plastic. This is like a thin twine on it, thin string, and that is actual string. But the husk, which makes sense, like this is super fragile, and like this one I can see the benefit of using plastic, and then you don't have to glue corn husks to pieces of plastic. I think that's crazy. The last piece of food here is a strand of chilies. Look at the detail here. I just was holding this up and staring at it, and my mom was like, "Oh my gosh, is something broken?" I'm like, "No, I just can't believe it." So these are, I mean, like this is a craft project like that you really could make. It's like tissue paper that has been molded to look like chilies, which I think is so crazy. Again, very fragile, very, very fragile. The revamp version are these. So kind of the same idea. The scale is, I'm going to pretend these are two different types of chilies, which would be very common in a Hispanic household, having lots of different chilies. So that I think is perfectly okay. But like, in what universe are these the same items? But these are just clumps of plastic, kind of like weird looking hands. And they kind of go in the basket like so. And then you've got these chilies which can hang, or you can put them in the basket. Just very fragile, really delicate. Like I said, I really think it's like tissue paper that maybe like they wet it with like a cornstarch mixture to make it like stiffer, maybe, probably, and then just thread through. But again, like that's not a machine made. I can't imagine a machine making that. Somebody probably, someone's fingers. Actually, thinking about that, having to do lots of these on production makes my fingers hurt. Whew. But yeah, just crazy difference. Is one better than the other? For that, I'm not sure. That's probably going to be personal preference, but just like that's the difference in production. I'm not going to say quality because like pros and cons to each, but the difference in production. So then the last one is the mano and the metate probably. So this was made in Taiwan. And on first glance, now my gray carpet is not working out here. First glance, these look pretty similar. This one's a little smaller, but similar shape. Again, just maybe a hair smaller for the reproduction, but the difference. The reproduction is plastic. It's fully plastic. It's got this printed American Girl made in China. So it's like textured plastic. It's really cool. It looks really realistic. You wouldn't know it was plastic really upon first glance. It's a really well done. But this is actual rock. Like, I could get some corn and grind some corn up and make mini tortillas, and it would be a party. Like, that's just, I I can't believe it. I just can't believe it. Um, Mano for hand, and then metate. I looked at the word and I read the letters, and Metate. But it's rock. It's an actual rock. That's so cool. Anyway, so to me, that was just like such a highlight. I mean, I have a whole metal pot here and like a metal trivet of iron, of probably iron. Not cast iron, but iron. So I've got metal, I have stone, I have corn husk, I have paper, I have twine, straw. I do have some plastic. Plastic is still there. But just like all the different materials. It's just really cool. I think it's just so cool. Okay, so I'm going to go put this with Josefina so you can sort of again see the scale. And I can fill out her kitchen a little bit more. Okay, so here is Josefina's kitchen, a little bit more filled out. So this is kind of a weird space. For those of you who follow along in my doll room, and I probably should do like a more in detailed tour of her space. So this is where she is. So if you've done any of my doll room tours, you know I've got boxes there, these new shelves, and kind of this side as well. So Josefina is down here, so she's got a 4-foot box. I have a lot of her collection. There's actually not a whole lot more that I need to complete her collection, so she would be a good candidate to do like a full collection tour. It'd be really cool. Something to consider. But she is like has this kind of walled off area because of this other box here, but I love it because it can be her kitchen, because her kitchen wouldn't be indoors. That's not realistic for her time in the early 1800s. So I love that I can give her kind of this outdoor kitchen space. But I can also be true to her table, and like, the table's to the side, but the chairs aren't at the table there. And I have enough space that I can actually pull them out and like have them how they would be for a meal. But here's her adobe oven. It's the plastic version because I got the revamped. But I can add her pot to this mix. I got her chilies here. These are the all plastic ones because they can stand up. I thought that was a good. Got some Rita. Just looking adorable and mischievous as always. Here's a jar that I said I thought, it's actually I thought about these, but those are too small. But this works pretty well, so I'm gonna probably leave that there for now. And the dipper doesn't go in, but it does sit on top, which is kind of how it would be. Would pretend like that's a cover until you needed it, which I think is really cool. So I've got her chilies, her new version of their chilies, her old version of the corn. I think this would be really cool if I ever did make another doll to go with her, or she had a visiting friend. They could grind corn together. I think it would be really cool. I need to think about it, but it would be kind of cool to hang these up. Right? I think that would be really cool. And this is the complete bread. That's from the Adobe set. But yeah, so I'm, first time getting this stuff into her space, so I'll play with it a little bit more, but it does fill out her kitchen a lot more, especially, having this and this is just a great addition. Oh, but it's just fantastic, all of it. So I know my mom doesn't watch my YouTube videos, but I'm so thankful for her and what she provides for me. Um, so yeah, I'm not quite sure if there'll be an unboxing or review video next week, but I hope you've enjoyed at least seeing some of this older Pleasant Company stuff and reviews for those. I don't feel like I'm really reviewing. I feel like I'm just oohing and eyeing in front of the camera, but for some people that's just seeing some of the stuff. I think is really, I've never seen this stuff before, and I'm just in awe and amazement with it. Again, not necessarily sure about the quality. You know, the quality is different. Like, this is really fragile, so it's like, these are very fragile, so is that higher quality than something that is going to stick around for a long time? It's just different. It's different production, and I think that there's a lot to be said for that. So here is my Pleasant Company Josefina in all of her beauty. Josefina is, let's see, how old are you? You are coming up on 24 years old. Yep, been around a time or two. So thanks for watching. Hope you got something out of it. And if you know, I would love to know what your favorite Josefina item is. I sometimes don't feel like she doesn't get enough love and shout out. So I'd love to hear, if YouTube has allowed my comments for this video, what is your favorite Josefina item? So yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.